Excuse me. What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video. Oh, all this shine on my lips. Hope everybody's doing good today. It is a beautiful Monday today. And I am back from Mississippi. I got back about Friday. And no, it wasn't Friday. It was Thursday. I got back Thursday, and I got off the plane like 3 something. And when I got home, it was about like 4 something when I got back. So yeah, and when I got back, I wanted to wash some clothes. Couldn't do that though, cause washing machine busted now. If it's not one thing, it's another. And it's so strange, we got the air fixed now, cause got it fixed the week that I left for Mississippi. So we good on that, but after that something else broke. So there's streaks on this thing. I don't know, we'll make do with what we got. But anyway, I'm sorry for the quality, y'all. Hey, like I said, we make do what we got. But anyway, today I wanted to talk about that there is no negative emotions. What's negative, what can be negative, is what you do with these emotions. Cause it's people like to think of anger as something negative, hate as something negative, and just like all these other things as negative, when these are all still parts of human emotions. It's a whole spectrum of human emotions, and I think it's okay to feel them. And and I already know what people might say about hate. That's I guess a divisive thing against amongst people, but I guess it is. I guess, but anyway, I'm not talking about hating people for any type of discriminatory reasons or anything like that. Of course, that's stupid. But I'm saying in the sense of if somebody just like really evil just did you wrong, it could be a abusive ex, a parent, or any other family member, that's these type of things, and I see that it's if the hate is the emotion that you feel for them, then I see that is okay, because you can have productive hate, and you can have it to drive you to meet your goals or any type of other success in your life. And people like to cite the whole thing of holding all this hate in your heart, having grudges and all those things. I don't see that as a bad thing. If it's not holding you back from your life, then it's okay. And plus, you see a lot of people that say they forgive, but they really don't, and you can tell. And they feel, and I think they feel like they're forced to forgive, and forced forgiveness is not forgiveness at all. That's just not the way it works with that. And then you have people around you, just like, it might be people around you that just like, okay, you need to forgive, you need to forgive, you need to forgive, when, it's not it's not on them to decide if you forgive or not, or even when you forgive. Because, if you want to forgive, that's the whole process. I never believe people when they just like automatically, they state they automatically forgive something or somebody. That's not real to me. To me, I'm thinking that, nah, you feel pressure to do that, and you don't. And there can even be healing with these whole processes, and I'm not talking about forgiveness and everything. Even if you don't forgive, there's healing there too. You can still hate the evil person that did these things to you. You can still have some sort of anger toward them, and still go through healing and still live your life. And you even have productive anger too, because can anger be destructive? Yes. And as I said, it all depends on how you use these emotions. If you're using these emotions for negative things, then that becomes that's you doing negative stuff with it. But you have productive anger, and you even have times, a lot of times, more times than people would think, that anger gets shit done. It's I don't think enough people want to realize that. And and the other thing is feeling sad, and of course nobody wants to feel sad, but sometimes you just need to feel sad. If you feel like some sort of sadness coming on, it could be a memory of some sort of traumatic event, or things like that. I've found that I let myself feel things. And you instead of trying to stop these feelings, because of course you don't want to feel that way, but you let yourself feel these things, and then that passes. And because people would say oh well, don't be sad and all these things, and that doesn't always come from a bad place or anything, but it's good to let yourself to feel things. And I think that even goes into letting yourself be human. There's just so much in this that's trying to stifle yourself from being human. Because when you try to stop feeling human emotions, you're trying to, in these different ways, trying to stop yourself from feeling and being human. And these things are part of human nature too. As much as people really don't want to really admit that, these are, like I said, being human is a whole range, a whole spectrum of emotions, even the ones they call negative. And the other things is excuse me, on this is even with these things, I see it as it makes you have more empathy, be more empathetic to people in different situations where they're not on that whole the whole thing of forgiveness and reconciliation and all those things. Because with people in these it could be a whole lot of different situations, but with that certain element in it, if they feel some type of way about somebody that, as I said, was just so evil to them, I don't judge them for that. I don't tell them they shouldn't feel that way. You feel how you feel. And excuse me. And with that comes understanding, because I've been through situations in my life, and there is still some sort of hate and anger, but it doesn't rule my life, and I am allowed to feel the way that I feel. And the anger has lessened over the years, but I think there'll always be some sort of anger, even if it's just a little bit, in my situation. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is reconciliation. Reconciliation is optional. You don't have to have any sort of reconciliation if you don't want to, especially if it is harmful to you. The other thing is that you have a lot of people, really more than you would think, that would like to force reconciliation. And the thing is with me, in my thinking, is forced reconciliation is not reconciliation. If that person wants to reconcile, then that is their choice, and that's something for them to decide. That's not on anybody else to decide or even get involved in, because you might not know the situation, you might not know every single thing in the situation, and even if you know everything in the situation, it is still not your business, and it is still not up to you to decide. And it is not up to you to decide if this person or person should forgive or not, because there's some things that you just can't come back from, and that's different for everybody on what that is. And to you, this certain thing that this person decided that this other person did to them that they just can't come back from, and there's no chance for any type of reconciliation. That might be something that you might reconcile with somebody on, but that's them, and that is their decision, and it should be respected. Because for me in my life, if anybody, if somebody that, like, I am completely done with, and that there is no chance of reconciliation, if another person kept trying to get me to reconcile with them, I would cut them off. That's just me, because I put up boundaries, and those boundaries are to be respected. And I see it as, if you don't respect my boundaries, you don't respect me. And if you don't respect me, there is no relationship that we can have. And some people might see that as extreme or whatever. I don't care. That's what I do, and that's my boundaries. And and to me, the people that want to force reconciliation, they don't have good intentions. They might seem like they have good intentions to other people, but to me they don't. I think that they're just looking for pats on the back, to get credit, just like, oh yeah, I brought them together, that type of shit. You're doing it for yourself and for the attention that you might receive in all of this. So, and the other thing that I want to talk about, back up a little bit and talk about, because I meant to talk about it, but I forgot. But it is that forgiveness is optional. And I was thinking about making a whole video on that, but I don't know. I might make just a video separate for that too, but I'm still gonna go into it here. And the thing is that not everything is forgivable. It's like when I said earlier that there's some things that you do that you just can't come back from. And as I've said, that's different for everybody, but people have those limits. And as I've said, you can, and I think I've said it, if I haven't said it in this video, I'm saying it now, and I think maybe I said it in past videos, but you can move on from things, and even move on from people, even if you don't forgive. This is contrary to the popular belief that you can't move on at all if you don't forgive the person or persons, and I think that is just not true at all. And and people might throw some type of religion in there, or whatever, and of course I respect people's beliefs and religions and everything. I don't subscribe to those. I'm not religious at all. I'm not a part of any religion. If that's the issue for y'all on this channel, I don't care. Unsubscribe. I'm gonna block and delete you if you try to be on some bullshit about that. And if you unsubscribe, that's fine with me. I don't want nobody that has a problem with just if I don't subscribe to any sort of your beliefs, and you decide that you don't want nothing to do with me, then that's fine. I don't want nobody like that subscribe to me or a part of this community or anything. So yeah, bye. So yeah. And but, and of course this is probably unpopular, but you don't have to. You really don't have to forgive to move on and to heal. And people might cite that just like, oh, well, you're bitter and all this other stuff. And it actually really doesn't have anything to do with that, in my experience, and even just experience with other people, but that's just in my experience. And I would even say, even if they are bitter, so what? they can feel how they feel. They're human and they have emotions. If they feel like they're bitter, then okay. And I mean, if people do, like, horrible things to them, then I don't see how it's a bad thing to feel bitter about some things. Okay, so let's see, what else did I want to talk about? There was something else. Oh, and this too. I don't think being vengeful is a bad thing. And because, I mean, like I said, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. I think there's healthy revenge. And you have the revenge that's healthy, and of course you have the revenge that's really, really destructive, and it might hurt you and, like, others around you, then that's another thing. But to me, you can have that healthy revenge where it doesn't hurt you, it might even help you, and you can get that even closure that way. It's like when I made a video, what's it called, Fuck the High Road. I see that I don't think I said it in that video. I think I meant to, but I forgot. But you can I don't see the problem with fighting fire with fire, getting down in mud with somebody. If they do you wrong, getting revenge on them. People be like, oh, that makes you as bad as them and all that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Fuck that. Sometimes you might need to be vengeful. It is what it is. And I in the past, like way back in the past, I thought about, taking the high road and all those things, and every once in a while it would do something for me, but most of the time it didn't. So, over time I just said, fuck that. Because just it was hurting me more in the long run than it was the other person, because the other person doesn't care. They're still, if they did something wrong to you, they're still living their life. They don't have any regrets on that. They don't have any remorse. So, yeah. And it is something that you might need to do to have that peace in your life too. And that's just what I think on that. And this is just a whole different take on these things, because I think there's really just too much in the world of this whole thing of just like, get along and sing a song with monsters. And to me, monsters don't deserve any of that. And the other thing is that if you decide to forgive somebody, and of course if that's completely your choice, that is fine, you still do not have to have them in your life. That goes into the whole reconciliation thing, but I'm saying this in a different way. But you can forgive somebody, and you don't have to deal with them. Because you have a lot of people that think that I forgave them, but I need to have them in my life even though they are toxic. And having toxic people in your life is not ever going to be a good thing, and it's never going to bring you any type of peace. You're still not going to get peace with that. So that is completely fine. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what y'all think on this, because like I said, this might be, this is a different take, and it might even be controversial, but we're gonna be respectful in these comments. So that's all I got to say, and I will see y'all in the next video.